Alright, hello everyone. Welcome. I should center myself on the screen. There we go. Welcome everyone to Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, DB Smiley, bringing you this B West matchup between, and I can go ahead and take off that part, but between Avalanche and Bronze 6. So currently, Avalanche and Bronze 6, both at 4 points in the standings, looking to try to climb up into that upper echelon of teams. We're starting to see the top separate out. Of course, right now, Soak Every Lane just running away with B West. But everyone trying to catch them. Avalanche and Bronze 6, though, just trying to catch up to Abba called here. And if either team gets a domination, they could tie. Of course, not every team has played the same number of games. That throws things off a little bit. But nonetheless, should be an opportunity for either team to climb. Both of these teams new to NGS, neither having played in it before, so we really didn't know what to expect from either team heading into the series. Or I should say heading into the season. So far, they've done, we could say respectable, just pulling up. I mean, they're both currently at 4 points at the moment. Just taking a quick look at their records, but actually we're just going to jump right on in to the draft, so we'll go ahead and get deep into that now. As I haven't had a chance really to scout these teams. I picked this up very, very last second. So I'm interested to see what these two teams bring. In terms of record, you know, Bronze 6, they managed to get a map off Zombie Eradication Squad, but actually lost that match to Zombie Eradication Squad. It's currently Zombie Eradication Squad's only map wins. They've only played one other series, however, and that series against Soak Every Lane, so hard to tell how good or bad that loss is right now. But did lose 2-1. Beat Die Gaming 2-0, though, so that's, I think, respectable. On the other hand, Avalanche dominated Spooky Ghosts, lost to Die Gaming. So if we're going off just transitive property, you would assume, okay, Bronze 6 is going to win this. That said, transitive property doesn't always apply here, as we see an Alex and a Sonya ban, two unconventional bans, though not unreasonable on this map. Both heroes very strong onto the map. We haven't really seen a lot of Alexstrasza this season, but we have seen a fair amount of Sonya as we go to pull that up. Joanna going to get banned out strong tank. 22% popularity, pretty high, all told. Only a 41% win rate, though, despite kind of seeing a lot more Sonya than we have in the past. We're immediately going to jump into Mephisto. Mephisto has really climbed in popularity this season. Up to 28%, was almost not played last season. An average KDA of 7, a win rate of 58. Very strong stats. Will be interesting to see Dragon Fury play the hero as, just quickly take a look here. And we can see that we're going to go into Genji Anna. I should note Dragon Fury has played twice, but we have not seen Genji in a while in any significant fashion. He has only a 3% popularity rate. It's decent KDA. We'll see if Kira has played the hero before as we take a look. Has played it. Pretty good KDA, about a 10 KDA there. But then from there we have the Kael'thas. That's a double mage comp. That one's surprising, I think. They don't really have an auto attacker to punish the Genji, so I'm really surprised they picked the Kael'thas there into that. I don't really know what to make of the choice. Taking a look now, just quickly. It's going to be a Lunara and a Deathwing ban. The Lunara ban, I assume, is targeted, as it's not a particularly common hero. see. Just getting some things squared away here on my end. So against the double mage comp, they already have some dive. They have some anti-healing. I like the pick of Anubarak there, and I love the pick of Yrel. I think when they go double mage, you want to get a hero that can just say, yeah, I'm not taking damage anymore, lol, suck a dick. And Yrel does that. She can also get onto the backline if ETC power slides forward and dive with Anubarak and Genji. But that said, I mean, this draft could still finish strong here. They got 2 choices left. They need to grab a healer, Artanis, Stukov. I'm really worried about that draft because they've picked ETC can peel for the back line. Artanis cannot. Artanis is much more engage heavy. He's, I guess, going to try to get onto Ana, but you have double mage here into a Genji who's just going to dodge everything, a Yrel who's going to dodge everything and punish you, a Noob who's going to dodge everything and punish you, and now a Tassadar who won't dodge everything but still gives them some poke. I guess the one advantage is they have a lot of shrine control, but I gotta be honest, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of this draft from Avalanche, especially given that the Genji was picked early. I think they had a lot of opportunities to respond to it and just simply did not. But we'll see as we get into the game how this goes. I recognize double mage isn't terrible, but the issue is it's double mage into the comp they drafted. I don't see how Avalanche ever kills Yrel. They're gonna need a really good CC combo to kill Genji. They can kill a noob. A noob is a lot squishier than he used to be, but a noob does have that spell armor on W. I think he'll take that talent level 1. What I am worried about is Bronze 6 has little shrine control. Not none. They have some shrine control, but not a lot. That might be an issue. As we already stated, of course, Bronze 6 beat Die Gaming. Die Gaming beat Avalanche. So by that transitive property, you think, okay, Bronze 6. But we're going to have to see how this match goes. I don't exactly know what to expect. I've never casted either of these teams before. I've never casted any player on these teams, and I don't get to say that often. I've been casting NGS since... Technically, I did a little bit back in Season 1, but really Season 2. And I've usually taken seasons off here and there. I took off Season 8. I took off casting Season 5, I think. Didn't cast a lot season. I did not cast a lot in season 6 either. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It looks like we have a loon with a bad AOL problem. Must have gotten an email in there. It's sucking up all the bandwidth. As we're still working to load in, but we should be good soon. Go ahead and start getting set up to jump into this game. As on the left side, we're going to go ahead and start introducing the members of Avalanche. It's going to be... actually, no, I'm sorry, I have this backwards. The team names should be indeed backwards, and we're going to have to... fix a few... No, the team names were correct. The team names were correct. Sorry about that. I did have to change some things up before that. So let's try that again. I Like Men is going to be... Or, excuse me. Yeah, I Like Men on Artanis. We're going to have Maquans on ETC, Skeptic on Kael'thas, Cash and Ashes going to be on Stukov, Dragon Fury on Mephisto, and on the side of Bronze 6... Be Danny on a noob, Kira on the Genji, Hit the J on Yrel, CRT on Tass, and a Loon on the Ana. Taking a look at those level 1 talents. I will say that the wave clear certainly favors the double mage comp here. Kael'thas, an exceptionally good wave clear mage. But that said, I suspect we're not in too much trouble of Bronze 6 falling behind here. I think they have the Tassadar. He can clear waves. A noob goes for the Mephisto and actually gets kind of baited there. Now taking a ton of damage. ETC had backed up, so wasn't able to punish. Meanwhile, Artanis Yrel up in the top. Artanis stacking that auto attack quest. Both teams going to stay bot for another wave. Like to have seen Bronze 6 rotate sooner. Try to get an edge on this mid wave. And now a noob really dives in for those XP globes and might pay the price. Don't know if that was the best decision. Dugov Silence gets immediately interrupted though, so gonna be okay. But that said, this now gives... Bronze 6 had a chance, I think, to get ahead in the rotations, which would have been huge against this ETC Kael'thas, but now not going to be able to do so. Now, normally, you go mid-bot, mid-camp. Neither team has done that here. Once again, a noob just not accurate with the burrow charge. Want to see that improve. Forgive me. Want to see Danny maybe be a bit more selective with those burrow charges. Yrel has to come down to help clean up this mid lane. Genji gonna get some focus here, but he's gonna be alright. Meanwhile, there is the siege camp picked up in the mid. Some XP globes lost there by both teams. Both still fairly even. Anub is in the mid right now, clearing camp, and it looks like ETC actually in a bit of trouble here. Anub wants to go for this. He gets the stun. The silence there, though, might prevent the follow-up, and ETC able to power slide on out of there. Genji not going for the finish with the Swift Strike, which against these new towers makes a lot of sense. It's going to be a bot shrine for our first one, but meanwhile Genji going to clean up this mid lane. Nobody from Avalanche has come to clear it up, though, just yet, and so that is potentially some missed XP. They do get back in time to pick up most of it. Anna gonna clean up the bottom, and this is the DB Smiley Storm League experience. Healer with no wave clear has to soak the wave because no one else will do it. Alright. Ooh, so 16-4 so far favoring Bronze 6. They back up once they no longer have that advantage. That said, neither Yrel or Artan is rotating down, so it's just going to be the 4 that we have in here. With the lead there, you'd think this favors Bronze 6. Ooh, Skeptic in a bad spot. Genji goes for the finish, does get it. Anubarak drops, though, all the same. 27-6, so Avalanche has closed the gap, but without Kael'thas, they've lost a lot of shrine clear now. Yrel and Tassadar still here, up to 35. They should cap this soon. Great task wall, zones out ETC, prevents the reinvade, and they're going to go ahead and get the Frozen Punisher down here in the bottom lane. So, well done there by Bronze 6. The worth trade on the shrine to trade a Anubarak for Kael'thas. Kael'thas just providing a lot of control there. Mephisto steps up, takes a lot of damage, but able to tap, get the big heal from Stukov. Stukov did go Vigorous Reuptake and Targeted Excision. Didn't go Fetid Touch, so not going to get to reduce W, so not going to be like as insanely healing, but I always have liked Targeted Excision. I think it's a really strong talent. And it makes sense given just how much Bronze 6 is going to rely on Burst, but speaking of Bronze 6, they're going to start bottom siege camp here. Able to start it because Infernal Shrine's one of the few maps where the camps do not disappear during the objective phase. Making it a very kind of macro-oriented map despite the team fight nature of it. There is a very big macro component here, but Avalanche going to clean this up. Artanis ETC currently cleaning up the mid, trying to close this gap on the race to 10. Siege camp going to get grabbed by Bronze 6. Good camp timings here in the bottom, although no one has taken a Bruiser camp yet. Especially with the first objective being bot, I would have liked to have seen that great engage on the Skeptic. And Kael'thas goes down again. Second death for him. And now Mephisto stepping up, trying to get some damage onto CRT. But he is going to be fine for the time being. Yrel starting to rotate down. Next objective phase will be mid, so it makes these mid siege giants very important. If they can be stolen, it will certainly do well. Stealing the enemy siege on this map is generally productive because they kind of tend to stop just right before they enter the lane and nuke down that bottom tower. Which, ooh, a noob should not have gone for that. Under towers. Gonna take a ton of damage. Just a big opportunity cost there in terms of health. Now can't pick off in the lane. Now has to wait for Ana to heal. Can't defend the siege giants. Just a noob being kind of... I don't even want to call it aggressive. I do want to call it reckless here. Genji quite low. Gonna hearth, as is a noob. Ana and Tass looking like they want to go for this bruiser camp. Yrel gonna do a bit of double soak. Picked up most of that soak down there. We do, of course, have level 10s now. We have Cocoon, Dragon Strike. It's gonna be Black Hole from Tass. Nano Boost. That could be a good combo. Nano Boost, Dragon Strike, and then the Ardent Defender. And on the side of Avalanche, it's gonna be Stage Dive from ETC, rather than the Mosh Pit. I'm a bit surprised by. There's... Outside of the Anub, not really a lot of interrupts. The Anub, the Ana has Sleep Dart. That's true. Tass would have to blow Black Hole to interrupt, though. Flailing Swipe out of Stukov, Phoenix, and then it's actually the Root combo talent, the Durance of Hate. Here comes a flank from Avalanche. They look for Ana. She is done. He has absolutely nowhere to go. And now the stun onto Anub. Anub's going to have to back up. Great engage there with the swap. But that said, Tass going to take the memo and say, alright, I'm just going to burn down bottom here. And has some minions. So bottom fort has been picked up here by Tass. So what we need to see from Avalanche to make that huge commitment of resources worth it is they're going to have to get a big lead on this shrine early, as Ana is back up, starting to come in. They have 16-2, so that's a good lead so far. Anub's going to take some damage, going to have to back up, but Ana has joined the fight, and here comes Yrel onto the backline. Little bit of a missed synergy, though, as Yrel kind of actually knocks people out of Anub's burrow charge. Anub getting focused is silenced. The healing coming in, though. There's the root combo power slide, but Artanis has gone down. Danny tries to escape through the bottom. Going to be able to burrow charge away. Now Mephisto is getting knocked back by Yrel, but Kira on this backline, props protected by the way, for a brief period, gets the Switch Strike reset and takes out Kael'thas. Huge kill there, and Bronze 6 looking to claim their second objective of this game. Well played there by Bronze 6. Mephisto going to go in and try to be annoying. Not really going to be able to do too much. There's a power slide onto Genji, silence there, but Genji does manage to get out of that one. Mephisto going back in, trying to make something happen. Rest of the team, though, is okay. And the Mortar Punisher is going to be picked up here by Bronze 6. That makes the next Punisher Arcane, which isn't as strong as it used to be, given that you can't as readily engage with the Punisher anymore. But if they can get these towers down, and they do, they look for the ETC. ETC power slides out. But that said, this fort is now shaking in its boots. This fort will go down. Phoenix used just to maybe buy a little bit of zoning time. Genji is taking tower shots, needs to back up. We're going to be okay. This Punisher, still rather healthy, but it doesn't look like Bronze 6 wants to engage. Instead, maybe looking to push top. And if they can get that top fort down, passive XP is a big deal. An often forgotten part of this game, because it's kind of so minor when in terms of appearance. But when you get a fort down, you get 20% bonus passive XP. That passive XP bonus is now 40% on the side of Bronze 6. That means they're going to win the race to 16 unless they just completely flub soaking. And so at this time, they don't need this fight. That said, they're going to push in. They get the Cocoon onto Kael'thas. Flailing Swipe going to be used. Make sure Thanatos can get out. Danny goes in. Once again, just kind of a bit reckless. Does, though, get a ton of damage onto ETC, but taking a ton of damage in return. Now CRT gets swapped under tower, and he is going to drop. Kira going to have to run away from this. ETC looks for the power slide. Genji has a weird Swift Strike through. I couldn't tell exact. Oh, wow. Genji just getting reset after reset here. But now blocks Dragon Blade to try to get away, and he's going to drop and not able to get the heal out. Danny goes back in for some reason and is going to pay the price. And I think the recklessness of Bronze 6 just caught up to them in a big way there. I like aggression. I always do. It's fun to cast. But that was just kind of, in terms of the way they engaged that. I'm actually surprised the noob survived the first tower dive there. With that said, Urel, gonna clean up this bottom siege camp, so macro still favoring the side of Bronze 6, and on passive XP they will win the race to 16, although not if they lose these towers up here, as that will be a slight boost of XP over to the side of Avalanche, and Genji coming up to clear top. I don't know if he'll be able to save these towers in there. Actually, yeah, he will. Both teams grabbing their siege camp about the same time. Dugov does now have root combo. We're seeing face smelt from ETC. That's the slow off face melt. Doesn't get that lowered cooldown talent, but is potentially going to be able to set up some good engages here. Anub, though, goes back in, and here comes Urel in the flank. Looks like they want to focus on Artanis. Missed ult from Mephisto, and the nano-boosted Tassadar helps secure that kill. Now ETC trying to peel out Stukov. Flailing Swipe used. No, it's interrupted by the Black Hole. Anubarak going in, as is Genji. They don't get on to the Stukov, but they are now turning their attention onto ETC, and the body blocks and the task wall going to secure the kill onto ETC. Great job there by Bronze 6. Grabbing themselves a couple kills, setting themselves up with a little bit more of a macro edge. I'd love to see them get their bruiser camp right now. I'd love to see them back off and get their bruiser camp. Looks like they want to pressure up this wall, but I gotta tell you, that bruiser camp, it guarantees that you either get the shrine or you get top fort, maybe even both. And they're not doing it though. Instead, Genji, Ana still kind of just hanging out up here. Rest of the team clearing the objective. Now keep in mind, this keep wall is there, but there is no fort, and they do have a catapult. That catapult, that single catapult, should not be underestimated. A single catapult does a ton of structure damage, and so if they can protect it, they can actually get this keep without even needing to dive too heavily, strictly because of the catapult. The catapult still does significantly more siege damage than your average hero. Substantially more. Punisher baited towards mid, now turns its attention back towards the keep, doesn't actually flip targets. We are now seeing, though, the poke up. Phoenix used, looking for some space. Kel'Thas is low to the Genji dive. ETC has blown power slide, now getting focused by the Anubarak, but there's a stun combo, root combo onto Anub, and Anub is going to go down, and that might be enough to protect this keep. There is the catapult, it's there now. The catapult and the Tassadar might be able to finish. Genji wants this. Stage dive into the back. Looks like Bronze 6 selling out for this keep. They do get it down. Genji going to die, though. Gets popped off by the Artanis. But honestly, 2 deaths for a keep, I think at this stage in the game, is not a bad trade. If this were level... So notice the huge difference between Anubarak and Genji death timers. Now, Anub did die sooner, but that will be a big deal in terms of the way Avalanche wants to try to push up in the mid. Because the Genji is down, I don't think they'll be able to get a ton of pressure onto the backline in terms of damage. They will certainly get CC pressure onto the backline. Mephisto just hasn't really been there with his ults today. Had one onto a noob, that secured a kill. Maybe that's valuable. A noob has joined. If Genji hadn't died here, certainly I think they could defend this objective. A noob goes in, but Cocoon broken, silence on the point, nowhere to escape, and then a Loon gets swapped. Bronze 6 just kind of dying, making some decisions here, gotta be honest. Death timers do spike at level 18 too, and so Bronze 6 has actually lost their sizable XP lead here in the last kind of 4 deaths they've experienced. I'd like to see them play a bit more patient. That said, Avalanche hasn't really been able to do too much with the map. They do have to deal with constant catapult pressure in the bottom now. But they are catching up on the race to 16, and next objective is top, which helps because they do have a healthy keep wall in the way. They effectively don't have a fort. The fort will just buy them the very slightest amount of time. But actually, big engage here on the bottom. To steal the shrine. Yrel has gone down. The stagger continues. And CRT is dead. The stagger deaths continue for Bronze 6. And if they don't just take their foot off the gas and just chill out, relax, get their team back, they're going to lose this game. And Danny is dead. He does not have burrow charge. He's dead. That was just... They need to stop the stagger right now on the side of Bronze 6. Avalanche is getting back into this game in a big way. They now have the XP lead with their level 20. They're going to be able to steal top Bruiser. Although this Bruiser won't do much. It's pretty much just going to feed onto the keep wall. That's all it will really do. But it gives them time to start getting a big lead on this objective. The staggers have just not been good from Bronze 6. I mean, they're really letting this... This was a game that should not be... That should be over by now, frankly. Or at least not over. This should be Bronze 6 controlling top with level 20 advantage. And instead it's turned into Avalanche, ironically, snowballing the staggers and turning it into their own top shrine, which will be the Mortar Punisher, but it will be their first one objective of the match. Yrel and Tass want to come down and maybe look at... There's no way they're going to get an ETC kill here. ETC does have stage dive. What? What? Mortar Punisher top. ETC... Does he get out? He gets out. Danny didn't go for the cutoff, instead look for the engage. Well, he decides to not get out. I think he very much could have left. And kind of chose not to. He's buying time now. What was that stage dive? Nonetheless, why are they backing? Don't back. Push. They have two Katas near core, but Mephisto's back. They need to really get a keep here, I think. Oh well. See what they do. Genji and Yrel looking for dismounts, looking to harass maybe. Focused on to Artanis. Now turns his attention onto Genji, who's briefly silenced. Stukov taking the silence detonation talent at 16.
Blue team's Punisher has been slain.
And if they just did a little bit of damage that keep, they'd have Kata pressure in top lane now. Alright, so Avalanche going to re-enter lane here. They got their Bruiser camp in. Although Tass is just going to come up and he's like, alright, I'm done. I'm taking this keep. Or this fort. I don't care anymore. And he is going to do just that. Meanwhile, both camps taken in mid. Yrel pops the self-unstoppable, so very, very good self-unstoppable there. If she didn't pop it at that moment, she would be dead. So great swap attempt there by Artanis, but even better self-unstoppable from the Yrel. For the first time we've really seen a 5v5 in a long time, potentially, and Tass is dead. Down he goes, good root combo onto Yrel, has the Ardent Defender, root though onto a noob. A noob silence coming out of it, great job by Stukov getting that extra silence there. And now Avalanche has a chance to take this top keep. And it looks like they're going to do just that. Do they look to end? They have Artanis, but he did not go amateur opponent. He does have 26% base auto attack boost. Stukov buying some space for the team. The shields are down, and yeah, they're going to get this core. Stukov will probably die here. He did have tower focus on him, which is a bit unfortunate. Well, no, Dragon Blade's doing work. Kel'Thas goes down. No, they're still going to get the core. And Bronze 6 absolutely lost that game on their own accord. So we're going to have to see if they can come back after kind of, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, throwing like they did. Not the best showing from them. Not the best showing from Bronze 6 in the late game, as they kind of let that game just snowball away from them there. I was really impressed with the Stukov play. I thought Cash and Ashens, absolute player of the game there. Made a lot of really good swipes. Had just fantastic root silences. I thought the Mephisto was extremely good as well. But kind of disappointing to see that game thrown like it was. But with that, we're going to come back here in just a second. We'll see you. Be right back. Stay tuned. Alright, welcome back everyone. Avalanche versus Bronze 6. Map 2 is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen, chosen by Bronze 6. Picking map pick after their loss on Infernal Shrines. Another map that tends to go into the late game, though. So they're going to need to kind of learn how to stop their staggers, as that just absolutely took a game that was an easy win and turned it into a pretty demonstrable loss on the side of Bronze 6. I am joined at this time by my adorable kitty cat, Stuart. He is adorable. He is cute. He is cuddly, and I love him. Right out of the gate, Avalanche bans themselves out of Mephisto. I guess they're like, we don't want it this time, but we also don't want you to have it. They played Mephisto last time. Dragon Fury played it very well. I just, had some pretty key root combos. Missed a few, admittedly, as well, but then Kilthos and Joanna banned. So kind of meta bans from the side of Bronze 6. Avalanche now banning themselves out of the two assassins they picked in the last game. Well, alright then. Gash and Ash is going to jump back onto the Stukov. I like that pick. I think it's a bit vulnerable to the counter engage. If Bronze 6 plays it, I'll tell them what they should pick, and it's Mephisto. Although Diablo's a good pick too. CRT moving on to Diablo, so it looks like a bit of a role swap here from Bronze 6. Alune on the Oriole this time. So you need to give it some kind of battery. You would think that most likely would be Gul'dan. So maybe you snap that, or at least ban it out on the side of Avalanche. Gonna be Arthas. I gotta be honest, I'm always questioning the Arthas main tank, but we'll see how it goes. That is assuming it is the main tank. Bakwan's was the main tank last time, but you could see some flexing. We're already, of course, seeing it on the other side. Lunara banned out once again. That was banned last game as well. Maybe trying to keep Skeptic off that hero. On the other side, the next ban's going to be... I would imagine Gul'dan seems like a reasonable ban. I think they can deal with the Vala. Gonna ban out... Okay, Raynor makes sense too. Raynor is a good battery as well. That said, I think this map's so much about wave clear that I would just lean towards the Gul'dan ban. Unless, it's a scouting thing and they recognize, Raynor's been played more. Raynor very popular this season. So Zul'jin's going to be the assassin. Hit the Joy, once again jumping onto the Urel. I thought it was played fairly well. I think the problem was just staggered deaths. More so than any individual play, although I will say Danny Zanubrak kind of scared me. Very quick pickup onto the Artanis. I gotta be honest, I don't like the Li Ming pick on this map. I think Gul'dan would have done them better from a wave clear standpoint. Li Ming, I guess they're trying to just blow up the Arthas root target, which they'll have Stukov root follow. Junkrat grabbed on the other side. I like that pick a lot. Junkrat very good for stalling on this map. It's a very team fight oriented comp on the side of Avalanche. I worry about how they're going to be able to control rotations, given the weaker engage of Arthas. I guess they're just going to rely on raw damage to do that. On the other side, I think it's a much more balanced comp for the map. Diablo Ariel can work well together. Diablo charges the wall, stuns. Ariel follows up with a stun. Diablo doesn't even need to flip off the wallbang. He could flip off the wallbang and Ariel just knock them right back into the wall. Also a possibility. But we'll get set up here for the second game. I'm sorry, Stuart. It's time to get down, baby. Everyone, say goodbye to Stewie Dewey. Bye, baby. Hop down. Oh, he doesn't want to get down. Alright. We will now move into the game. Go ahead and introduce our teams. On the left side, it's going to be I Like Men once again on Artanis. Ash and Ashes once again on Stukov. Fuckwan's going to be on Arthas. Skeptic on Li Ming. And Dragon Fury on Greymane. It is Avalanche looking to get the 2-0. And on the other side, Bronze 6. It's going to be Danny on Zul'jin. Kira on the Junkrat. Hit the J on Yrel. CRT on Diablo. And a Loon on the Ariel. Level 1 talents. Headhunter from Zul'jin. Trying to get extra damage off of takedowns. It means they're going to need to get a lot of kills quickly. But that basic attack range, also very helpful. From there, Devil's Due from Diablo. Great choice onto the map with the regen globes. And we're already seeing a really good wave clear here from Bronze 6. And they're not sticking around to just waste time fighting. I love Junkrat disrupting the rotations with that concussion mine. And already Bronze 6 getting quite an edge in the rotations. And that's going to favor them. And this is where I think the Li Ming was a... because of the map, I don't love the Li Ming pick. This map's so much about wave clear. And Li Ming just is the mage that brings the least. Save for like KTZ. Yeah, just continuing these 4-man rotations. Down here in the bottom, Rel and Artanis. It looks like Artanis already has had to tap. Rel going to be able to take advantage of that and just continue to pressure up, knowing that she can drop back for her own tap at any point. But Bruiser Camp going to be grabbed here by Zul'jin and Ariel, and I like this macro, and a much better macro strategy here from Bronze 6. They're not wasting a lot of time fighting. They're actually just disrupting rotations and playing the map the way they want to. Great separation there from Junkrat. Good job keeping vision control. And now with this Bruiser Camp in the lane and so little wave clear, this should be an opportunity for Bronze 6 to drop some gems, and we've seen Diablo do just that. But there is Yrel knocking back, setting up the Arthas flip. Stukov also separated out by the concussion mine from Junkrat. And welcome back, Bronze 6. Great engage there. Both the Yrel and the Junkrat setting up really good kills. And good job pulling the trigger from Diablo off that Yrel knockback to get the stun kill. So Bronze 6 back in control of this game. Of course, need to sustain that, as we saw in the last game. But currently almost the level lead. Down here in the bottom, still just the solo laners. I mean, this is the solo lane now in 2020. The towers are so strong that nobody even bothers to push. They're just going to passive soak. Web Weavers have been picked up here by Bronze 6. Almost level 7, but not quite there yet. So, you know, may not be able to get a lot done off this phase. Want to at least get some towers to continue that XP boost. They did get mid to push up. Web Weaver dropped there. That's going to draw Avalanche's attention. Bronze 6 now with a chance to push top, and Zul'jin should be able to go to town. Actually, I like this strategy here. They're just trying to let Zul'jin just push. Actually, Zul'jin, though, now joining the fight, and I really think is talents would be better used on siege, rather than joining this fight that seems rather inconsequential, if I'm honest. You know, they still get down both towers, but they don't really get any meaningful fort damage. On the bottom, though, Yrel has gotten the front wall. And that's good for the start of the game. Actually, all 3 walls picked up here. So a good XP boost. Ooh, but there's a root on the Zul'jin trying to get away. Great peel there from Diablo. Danny managing to escape. B steps there by a loon. Bronze 6, though, still in control of this game, but has to stall turn-ins. Diablo went way deep on the backline and might be in trouble. He's going to be able to escape that. But that said, no gems turned in at all yet on the side of Avalanche. Map can snowball, especially if you give up a double turn-in, because that turn-in can enable kills, and if you haven't gotten any of your gems in and then you die, it's a really bad situation. Avalanche does, however, get 25 of their gems in. Now Artanis, the only gem carrier left on the side of Avalanche, but he does need to drop his 25 for there to be an opportunity on the side of Avalanche to get a Web Weaver. They're 21 short. It's going to take them a long time to farm that on other heroes. And so they really need to find a way to get Artanis to turn. But Artanis kind of stuck babysitting this bottom lane, as the solo laner is wont to do. And meanwhile, just little gem drops adding up on the side of Bronze 6. They're up to 26. They have 50 counting what's turned in and in hand. So they only need 5 more. Yrel going to be able to drop 5 here. There's an engage onto Arthas. APOC combo executed beautifully. Faquand is low. Drops the root onto Diablo. Might be able to get away. He does. And now has Dingo used, as is the Aegis after the fact. A little bit of a mis-synergy there, but otherwise Bronze 6 does continue to control the vision over these turn-in points. Still relying on an Artanis turn-in mathematically. They need to get 11 in otherwise. Actually, no, they now have enough on other heroes. That if they can get Arthas and Ming to turn in, that would be enough. So this will force Bronze 6 to defend a bit more predictably. Artanis going to look for his turn in. Great interrupt there by Yrel. Artanis still trying to drop. Going to be a 5v5 down here in the bottom. I'd actually like to see Kira have snuck up top and gone for the turn-in. But that said, here comes the Riptire. Stukov's in a bad spot there. The Riptire doesn't really get a lot of value, but Arthas does drop, and so now Avalanche in a lot of trouble. There's an engage onto the Greymane, who tried to go for the kill on the backline. Crystal Aegis on herself, saving Ariel. And now Kira can drop, and that will be second turn-in a row here for Bronze 6. Now, they don't have a lot of extra gems, which means they need to get a lot of value off this next turn-in. There we go. Now pushing up here. 3 in the top. Diablo joining, so it's going to be 4v4. Meanwhile, Yrel and Artanis still facing off in the bottom. They want this fort. They want to start getting that cata pressure to pair up with a potential boss push later on the side of Bronze 6. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Yrel just turning her attention to the structure. Webweaver is distracted by the fountain at the moment. This Webweaver top being defended fairly well. And so it does go down. The Webweaver in mid should get the fort, though. And bottom fort is also going to drop here in just a second. So 2 forts picked up. And actually now a flank onto Artanis. And Artanis getting a APOC combo. There's the follow-up. Didn't get the stun. Great massive swipe from Stukov. Flailing swipe, I should say. From Stukov to save Artanis, who was down below 200 health. That said, a lot of damage done there. Top fort is low. Got extra passive XP going to Bronze 6. Now keep in mind they were in a similar situation before, and they were unable to close the game out even after they got a keep. So for Bronze 6 now, this game is all about finishing. That needs to be what they have in mind. Because last game they did not. Turn in available. Arthas could turn in. Skeptic could turn in. Artanis could turn in. I would really like to see them split up here. Just to try to get the turn. They're baiting a 5v5 team fight when they're down talents. And Ardent Defender used very early from the rail. Not sure if it was even needed. Here we're going to rotate around. Bruiser camps going to push against each other, and a great defense there by Bronze 6. And once again, you know, still to this moment, we have not gotten the first Web Weaver, now 10.5 minutes in the game, on the side of Avalanche. Again, this is a situation where I would just like to see them split the Artanis and, let's say, the Li Ming to get the turn-ins. Now a focus here on the Arthas. I will say that Avalanche has done a good job not losing gems. There is the combo. Taz Dingo used from Zul'jin just to buy some time. Aegis used. Get some good damage out. Riptire. Bronze 6, though, is fighting 4v5 at the moment. Greymane goes onto the Junkrat. Junkrat concussion mines himself out of there. Bronze 6 has not given up this fight, and I will say that while the members of Avalanche are low, I don't like that decision, as a Loon might drop here. A Loon does go down, and now this should absolutely be a turn-in on the side of Avalanche. I don't know why they're having multiple people turn at this point, but they are going to get their first Web Weavers. Artanis now carrying 39. He and Greymane, if they just grab not Greymane, who was I thinking of? I was thinking maybe of Arthas, yes. He and Arthas almost have enough gems that they too, just by themselves, the two of them, could proc a double Web Weaver off the insta turn-in. Looks like they want to focus top lane, being the lane that they still have a fort in. Now maybe looking for a bad rotation here. Doesn't find it. Root onto Junkrat's not really going to accomplish much. But a 5-man push top. Arthas has been knocked over the wall, but the gate is down. He's going to be alright. 4 defending here as Urel is in the bot lane. Big minion wave coming in as well, so there will be a lot of damage onto the structure. That's it. Arthas getting focused by the tower. APOC combo. Flailing swipe's not going to be enough. And Artanis drops, and that is a ton of gems if they can't pick those up. Now Arthas is low, trying to pick it up. 20 have been lost. Arthas down to 42. Diablo gets the stun. That's 42 gems on the ground. If Avalanche can't pick those up, that could be enough for them to lose the game off of, and they have been dropped. 42 gems lost, and now Li Ming's not going to get out of there. That's another 5 dropped. Greymane does get the kill onto Zul'jin, but it's not a high impact kill, and the gem loss has been massive. They easily had a second turn-in on the side of Avalanche, and now they have less than half a turn-in with only 24 gems. Meanwhile, a turn-in is available right now on the side of Bronze 6, and they could absolutely take control of this game. The lanes are already pushed as well. With people down, I love this turn-in. They want to turn in right now. They don't even need to do anything fancy like a boss turn play, although I think they could have, though without the Zul'jin, their boss burn is slower. Zul'jin only just now getting back, so he's going to be a little bit behind the Web Weavers, but you can bait the response top and then just rotate bottom for keep. Keep bottom lane, not the strongest in the world, but by no means bad. Instead, they still really want this top fort. I would love to see them rotate bottom and just take that keep, although I don't even think they need to at this point if they can keep the members of Avalanche on top. And actually, they may get keep mid and bot if Avalanche doesn't respond soon. Li Ming is going to try to respond, but already the tower taking damage. Fort has gone down. There's the APOC combo on to Arthas. Riptire separating out Arthas even more. He does have Army of the Dead, so he's going to be able to self-sustain through that. Flailing Swipe has been used. 5v5 up here in the top. The Web Weaver has gone down. Meanwhile, there are 2 catapults bot and a catapult mid. I would love to see... No, the engage coming in. Artanis tried to swap Ariel there. Does end up in the backline by himself. He's going to drop. Ariel now goes down as well. So 1-for-1 trade. But this whole time, I mean, look, bottom keep's done. Mid keep might be done. Mid keep's going to die. So 2 keeps lost. So that ultimately worked out for Bronze 6. The hard commit to top forced such a hard defense. But now the game slows down a lot, and that's because, one, the core is stronger now, harder to just walk up and end. But the other factor is you only have 30 gems, counting what's on hand and turned in, on the side of Bronze 6. On the side of Avalanche, you have 5 gems away from a turn-in. And the minion waves, I mean, look, it's top. It's way on the left side, and this minion wave will meet in the middle, but then way on the left side, and so, you know, Bronze 6 is going to have a hard time getting a turn-in because of where the lanes are. Diablo could interrupt this with a W. That goes for the APOC combo, actually gets the double APOC, and the stun follow on the Dragon Fury. That's going to secure the kill, and that's big. Now an opportunity for Avalanche to try to end this game, trying to keep Arthas separated out. Root there from Arthas, but Quan's having a hard time getting away. There goes Diablo going in, separating out Arthas. Arthas is going to drop, and that's another 25 gems if he does. Zul'jin is on the chase. Arthas just trying to get away now, or at least buy time for his team. But with 25 gems lost, that will ruin any chance of a turn-in on the side of Avalanche. And now, just like the flip of a switch, Bronze 6 is actually close to a turn-in than Avalanche is. They're going to go ahead and do top boss. They're going to see what they can get done with this. They need 15 gems in order to be able to have a turn. Pardon me. There we go, cleaned up in the top. Arthas will be up in time for this defense, as they still have a keep wall to get through. Junkrat gonna go ahead and drop his gems. 14. Stukov gets the root onto Ariel. She can't Aegis, and Ariel goes down. And that might stop this push. Great job there by Cash in Ashes. And I love what Artanis did there. Did not give Diablo the wall. APOC combo has been used to no effect. And so despite level 20 and the boss, Bronze 6 not going to be able to get this keep. All kicked off by that Stukov root combo into the Li Ming follow-up. That said, going to be able to drop a lot of their gems here. Only 14 away from the turn-in. That said, only 7 away on the side of Avalanche. And there you see, I mean, when the lanes push, it gets so much harder to get these gems. I mean, bot lane hasn't really gone any farther to the right than this. And now with the double catapult stack, it's going to go even slower. Bronze 6 needs to not be here. I have no clue how they think they win this fight. This is a mistake. Zul'jin's dead. I have no clue what they thought would happen there. They absolutely could have defended a turn-in. I have no idea why they thought that was going to work out for them. Alright, well, Bronze 6 needs to stop the stagger now. They need to not have another death here. They need to just get behind their wall. There's the root combo, looking for Ariel again. Ariel does survive, trying to flip Arthas under the wall. Arthas taking tower shots. He is going to be able to escape, though. Self-unstoppable use from Yrel. Does get out of there. Webweaver bottom's going to accomplish nothing. Webweaver in mid going to get cleaned up quickly. And Webweaver in top still has a ways to go, so I do think we'll be able to see the defense. That said, Zul'jin's still down for 7 minutes. These late-game death timers, though. Webweaver in bottom already half health. Pushing against the Kata is going to make it even harder. But Li Ming actually gets picked off there late on the rotation. Great engage by Diablo, secures the kill. Still has APOC available, and now it looks like Bronze 6 wants this fight, and now's the time you absolutely want to fight. Of course, take it now. Flailing Swipe, not enough to save Arthas. Arthas alone in the backline, just going to slow down his death by getting on top of Zul'jin, but only just, and now Stukov has nowhere to go. Junkrat going to be able to cut him off, meet him halfway there. Diablo trying to look for something. There's the great concussion mine. Stukov drops, and now they can end the game on the side of Bronze 6. So, despite kind of a, let's call it awkward engage, although in actuality, the Webweaver top did get keep, is on the core, but it's not going to out-damage this Zul'jin. Artanis drops there, as does Greymane. Desperation there, but Bronze 6 going to be able to take us to a Game 3 now. Off their win on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And there we go. So we do get a Game 3. Bronze 6 played that one a lot better. Had that really questionable fight on bottom at the end that led to a huge stagger on Zul'jin. But otherwise, end up getting the W in this game. So take a look here at the post-game statistics. Once again, I thought, though, I still think Cash and Ashen's has been played really well, but I will say CRT, I don't think missed an APOC combo. I think CRT was exceptional that game on the side of Bronze 6. I thought the tanking was much more consistent. I thought Kira played an exceptional game, and I liked broadly what I saw out of the Ariel, though some really questionable positioning led to some free Stukov roots. So I would give my MVP that game, though, to CRT easily. But with that, we're going to take a brief break while we get set up for game number 3. Stay tuned, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. right, getting set up here for game number 3. It's going to be between Bronze 6 and Avalanche. Bronze 6 dominated both games. However, in game 1, they couldn't stop a few staggered deaths. They kept the stagger going, and ultimately Avalanche wins the series. Last game, Bronze 6 stopped the stagger. They got the engage they wanted. They got a kill. Pardon me. Having a little bit of a hiccups here. Got the engage they wanted. Got the kill. Managed to turn it into core. Some great play from the Junkrat. That's as well. Kira having just a fantastic game on the Junkrat. I like the name Kira. Reminds me of Death Note, which is a fantastic anime. I'm not normally an anime fan. I will say the second half of Death Note kind of sucks. After L, well, I don't want spoilers. After the thing that happens with L, that if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It kind of sucks. But taking a look at Kira. Actually, Bronze 6 has had, I guess, a lot of flexing this season. Because we're seeing a Garrosh game on Kira. But, you know, really, really good Junkrat game in the last time. Looks like we still have a second needed on the side of Avalanche. So hopefully, though, we'll be able to get into the game soon. Map 3 going to be Battlefield of Eternity. And Bronze 6, so Avalanche won the toss and chose first pick. Bronze 6, when they lost game 1, still chose maps. So they have chosen all 3 maps. That seems to be what they most want. But yeah, it's going to be interesting set. Hopefully we get started soon. Oh, I accidentally picked the wrong screen there. Did not mean to do that. Looks like we're getting the all clear. Everybody is good to go. Letting the teams know that I'm ready. And here we go. Moving into the draft now. Avalanche once again on the left, Bronze 6 on the right. Winner takes the series. Nobody's going to catch Murky Cult. Winner's going to have 6 points. Loser's going to have 5 in the standings. It will be worth seeing who ultimately comes out on top here. BOE, very team fight oriented map. Still a lot of specialized drafting. Diablo going to get banned out. Strong pick on the map. CRT played it exceptionally well. The APOC combos were just on point. Artanis getting banned out now on the other side. Which I would not explicitly call a respect ban. It is that, yes, I like men plays it a lot. But it's, I think, more a map ban than a respect ban. Lunara banned out once again. Has been banned out in every game now, and I'm not entirely sure why. Are we in a Lunara meta and I'm just like a scrub cake who doesn't know what's going on? Zul banned out, so that's the first change we've seen from Bronze 6's ban. They had been banning out Joe Zul, still keeping the Zul off the map. Zul still incredibly strong. But Mephisto's going to get grabbed by Dragon Fury, so once again, just a big prioritization of the Mephisto on the side of Avalanche. They picked it first, they banned it first last game, and they pick it up again here. So a lot of respect there. Mephisto going to be the first choice. Gets responded to, though, by the Garrosh Rainer. So we're going to see our third different tank tonight on the side of Bronze 6. So kind of a lot of flex players, it seems. But CRT going to get on the Rainer, a very strong hero. Going to get responded to with the Joanna Vala. Joanna, of course, had been banned out, but now going to be the pickup to deal with the Rainer. The blind is there. Skeptic going to be on the Vala. And then you see the Stukov banned out, and that just makes all the sense in the world, frankly, after the way we've seen Cash and Ashes play that hero tonight. Taking a look at the stats historically. You can see 1-0. Well, not 1-0 now. Now 2-1. But honestly, I don't attribute that loss onto him at all to Cash and Ashes. I think Cash and Ashes played a very, very good game. Although I will say that, it struggled a bit. We're going to see Whitemane picked up, and we have seen that hero grabbed by a Loon before. We've actually seen Cash and Ashes play that hero, so it could also be a deny. I gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of the Whitemane at all. I just don't think Whitemane is particularly good in this video game called HOTS. I don't know if you've heard of it. Does have really good ability to keep one person alive. I think is going to struggle tremendously with the AoE damage that Vala and Mephisto can put out. I gotta be honest where I say I'm just not a fan of that pick. Sonya, what's the healer going to be? It's going to be Anduin. Really, I gotta say, I love the draft out of Avalanche this game. I think this is, in my opinion, their best draft tonight. I think it has everything they need. It has a ton of objective burn for the map, but it also has really good team fighting. You have the Anduin into the Garrosh. I like it quite a lot. Meanwhile, Kael'thas is going to be picked up by Danny. Which I don't know. I think I would have rather have seen the Ming here, given the map, given the Garrosh. Hit the J once again on Yrel though, and you can't hate that. Hit the J has been the most consistent player from Bronze 6 tonight. Pretty easy to be consistent when you play the same hero 3 times in a row. As we get set up for the game, just taking a quick look at the Yrel, and you can see I have the wrong hero selected here. Before tonight, hit the J 1-1 on the Yrel, now 2-2. But real quick, just showing that again. I mean, pretty good damage soak numbers, all told. But we're going to get set up into our match here as we introduce these teams one last time. Match is over after this, so give a shout out to Avalanche. I like men on Sonya up in the top. Cash and Ashes on Anduin. Faquan's going to be on Joanna. Skeptic on Vala, and Dragon Fury on Mephisto. And on the right side, Bronze 6 trying to complete the reverse sweep. It's going to be Danny on Kael'thas. We've got a Loon on Yrel, Kira on Garrosh, CRT on the Rainer, and up in the top, it's going to be Hit the J once again on that Yrel. Okay, looks like we're going to have a remake as Cyberhawk. Kael'thas was the choice, so we're going to have to take a brief break. We'll be right back. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We'll see you soon. Alright, we are back into the game here. Getting set up. Going to introduce the teams once again. Let's just make sure our Kel'Thas is on not Cyberhawk skin. So here we go. It's going to be Sonya playing I Like Men, Cash and Ashes on Anduin. Juan's going to be on Joanna, Skeptic on Vala, Dragon Fury on Mephisto. And on the right side, Bronze 6, Kel'Thas, going to be played by Danny. Kira on the Garrosh, CRT, going to be playing Raynor, Alune on the White Mane, and up in the top, hit the J, once again on the Sonya, as we will take a look at those ever-important level 1 talents. Anduin going with the Renew, which, with the buffs to W, seems to be the preferable pick now. Generally a fairly safe pick. You can see right out of the gate, Joe doing a good job fronting for her team. Both teams clear the wave. Fairly dramaless, although I will say that certainly the Anduin wins the trade and sustain this early. White Mane just very mana dependent, and I think that's the problem right now. Is they've just the entire basis of her kit. I think if they what they need, and I know this is funny to say, they need to rework White Mane so she does not 100% healing on damage, maybe less, and then her Q just lasts a lot longer, like maybe 50% longer. I think that would balance her out. As it stands right now, she just seems to be impossible to balance, and right now she's just not good. That's my opinion. I am a healer main. I'm allowed to share it. But I mean, I think right now what you're seeing just demonstrates it. I mean, right now the meta is trying to play very safe, and White Mane does not contribute to that. You know, it's similar to Uther in a lot of ways. Uther is very mana dependent, very low sustained healing, very good at keeping one person alive. But the problem with Uther is if he's a solo healer, he struggles because of that mana. And Garrosh is going to die. Garrosh just didn't need to be up front. Also, though, bad time to take Bruiser Camp, if I'm honest. Way too early to take that Bruiser Camp. This Bruiser Camp's not really going to accomplish anything. Might get some wall damage, but that's going to be about it. You know, on the other hand, this Bruiser Camp is going to distract Bronze 6 from the objective, so, you know, bit of a questionable play. Taking a look at... I'm actually just curious how the White Mane's going to be built. I mean, we can see Martyrdom, so getting some extra burst heals on the Q. I have been seeing the W build kind of be picked out of White Mane, but we're not seeing that here. But moving straight into the burn is the Vala, who did go Q build. Only has 2 stacks so far, though, so... might actually behoove Vala, rather than focusing on the burn with her Qs, actually just trying to get stacked here. I think I'd like to see that be the focus. Sonya all over this backline. Meanwhile, Raynor has picked up halftime in the bottom, but now going to have to come down to clear this bottom lane. Fight's still ongoing top. I Like Men is low, but gets onto Alune, and White Mane's going to drop. Down she goes. Now Sonya is low. Mephisto dives in, trying to get the finish onto Danny. Doesn't do so. Now a flip onto Joanna, but just buying time here as, well, Raynor is currently not burning. They're actually up defending this. So Raynor cannot burn. Vala up to 5 stacks. Danny is so low. Danny drops to a punish from the Joanna. Sonya, though, goes down to the White Mane. But all the same, Bronze 6 manages to get it down. They eventually win the objective, despite the Kel'Thas death. Didn't really have anyone... they need to have Vala back burning, I think, there. I know she wants to get stacked, but she didn't really get any stacks there. And maybe just a bit too late to rotate back. But here comes the Punisher. Not a lot of shielding. Garrosh already taking some tower shots here. Joe gonna step up and then just bring Living Bomb back to her team. Kappa. One thing with Living Bomb, you want to avoid heroes. Absolutely true. You also want to avoid your own minions, but Joanna is actually in a really bad spot here. Thankfully, for her sake, she took the Iron Skin talent, and now is actually on to CRT, but gonna have to back up. Not gonna win that trade long term. Adrenaline boost used by Raynor to keep himself alive. Wall has gone down, but actually with the damage they've dealt to the Raynor, might be able to take this camp in time. Raynor and Whitemane are going to see this, but there's nobody else here. They can't really contest. Raynor needing to use the knockback just to get away. If he got hit by the Condemn, could have been followed up and burned down pretty quick. Vala at 8 stacks. We, of course, need to keep an eye on that. And has gone the repeating arrow, so... You know, once Vala gets stacked, I mean, she is absolutely going to annihilate. Now, Garrosh, what you need to do there, step up. As soon as Mephisto steps forward, he stepped forward in a bad spot. Thank you for the raid, Murda. 18 people, thank you so much. Kira needs to step up, grab the Mephisto, throw him backwards, stun him. Because Mephisto then wouldn't have his teleport down. He'd be dead AF. Now Raynor able to push up, though, all the same. Focus onto the Sonya. Has to bait out the cleanse from the Anduin to keep the Sonya alive. Fort is still standing. Yrel and Vala going to be able to take this camp. Yrel might go for the cheeky jump knockback maybe to steal, but Iron Skin will be available. I don't see that being successful, but I do like this commit down to bottom. To say, look, we're just going to take it. That said, the reason you would take your camp early is so you could get your camp before the objective, so they need to rotate to it now. Instead, they're rotating top looking for a fight, which they need to do, I guess, given that they're about to lose the race to 10, but I just think the camp in the top lane could get so much more value. They do have the passive XP, which is going to help them out, but now they're entering a phase where they will be losing the 10 race. If anyone from Avalanche goes to the side lane, they will pick up 10. Sonya right now doing the Bruiser camp. Top burn has been started by Mephisto and Vala. Vala halfway stacked. Make that 55% of the way stacked as she picks up another off of Yrel. Now defending on the side of Avalanche, and with no one soaking the lane, they only just now tick over 10. Sonya has gone leap. We have the Bless Shield, which has been used. There's the Mephisto. Rudolph catches 3. Sonya gets into the backline, starts just trucking out the damage. Whitemane goes down. Kael'thas goes down. Garrosh is low, but should escape. Ardent Defender used to keep Yrel alive. But that is 2 kills, and that should be halftime going over to the side of Avalanche. They should get this burn pretty quick, especially with the Vala, who is now 70% of the way stacked. 31 viewers. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around for this Game 3 between Avalanche and Bronze 6. Avalanche punching back in a big way there with their level 10 advantage. But now level 10's on the other side. It is the Pyroblast going to be the choice. Bit of a surprise into the Anduin, who could just go inner focus at 16. But now Raynor starting the burn and seeing the health pool fall. I expect to see Avalanche step right back up. They've dropped taps. Vala going to go in with that repeating arrow Q, chunk out a lot of damage that way. CRT is rejoined, but there's the Leap Light Bomb combo to get onto the Whitemane. Whitemane thrown out by the Garrosh, but Sonya is still on it. All the same, though, Anduin dies there to the Pyroblast from Kael'thas, but Vala has finished off the objective, and this is a very healthy shielded Immortal on the side of Avalanche. So, they got the engage. Ooh! Sonya gets popped somewhere. Where did she dry? I guess down there. Just reposted in the wrong neighborhood. 3 to the 1 to the 1 to the 3. You are down for another 10 seconds. Not really sure why Sonya got picked off there. Should have just gone bot and cleaned up the lane. There it is, right? Because now Anduin has to do it. And being a healer myself, I know that Ando was wondering, well, fucking Sonya tried to go in and get a kill, and now I have to clean the lane. Bit of a misplay there by Sonya. Top siege camp's gonna be taken. Sonya needs to. Oh, they are making a mistake. They are well. They'll get CRT. No, they won't. They won't even get CRT, and now Sonya's dead as fuck. Oh boy. Alright. So, pretty bloody game here in the last bit. Now Vala, though, has to solo defend. Is fully stacked on her Q talent, which is a big boon. She can now just annihilate. Oh, but she is flipped backwards. Great cleanse from the Ando, and Cash and Ashes continuing to make the plays, and enables the turnaround on the Garrosh, and there's the Light Bomb going to take out the Rainer. 2 kills there by Avalanche. Great turnaround. They saved their top 4, but more importantly, they've now opened up the map a bit. They need to invade Bruiser, I think. It's the only thing up on the map at the moment. They also want to get someone bot for the bottom soak, but that was such a great cleanse by Cash and Ashes. If Avalanche wins the series, Cash and Ashes is 100% my MVP. Has played so well tonight. Bruiser camp going to be taken here. They can now go up with the Sonya. I know they're going to take a lot of damage, but they can just quickly rip that fort down, equalize a bit, get some radial symmetry back into this map. Yrel, though, pushing bot with the Kata, is going to force a response from the members of Avalanche. Bronze 6 making, I think, the best macro play they could there, and doing a good job not staggering. That's been an issue they've had this series, and they're not going to do it. Oh, there's the flip onto Sonya. Light Bomb, though, with the push shield, and there's the root from Mephisto. It hits absolutely everyone, but the damage is being turned around so hard. Faquan's is going to have to walk away. Dragon Fury trying to run from this Yrel. Sonya is so low. Oh no, Sonya might get picked off here. She is going to go down. Oh, that was such a good counter engage, but just the damage coming out from the Kael'thas and from the Rainer ultimately prevent that from being a really, really good engage from Avalanche. And I gotta say, both teams played that so well. Bronze 6 coming out on top, and they absolutely deserve it. They just had that little bit of extra damage turnaround, but that was so well engaged. Sonya getting separated out, but the Light Bomb into the Bless Shield, enabling Sonya to get the Whirlwind. It just wasn't enough for Avalanche, as we saw. Just the great, great damage coming out from CRT and Danny. And CRT has really been playing well for Bronze 6 tonight. He has just been solid. There's a root onto Garrosh. Has to blow the Unstoppable, walk out of Immortal, but he is low. Mephisto goes in, tries to get the kill, but as you know, Garrosh so hard to finish, and this whole time now, Whitemane getting engaged on. There's the Light Bomb, stunning out Garrosh. They're putting so much pressure on this Garrosh, and they had Whitemane so low. And now there's the root, but it hits 3. Can they turn this around? No. Team wasn't in position to re-engage, but Faquan's is going to go down to the Kael'thas. Oh, Dragon Fury gave every single chance with that root, and nobody on Avalanche was able to follow up. They weren't able to get onto a Loon, and Bronze 6 winning that fight there. Bit of a missed opportunity for Avalanche, though. They had so much available to them. But Bronze 6 played that fight very well, recognizing the advantage of the Garrosh. The Garrosh can just trade so well, take so much damage, and because of that stacking armor, it's just so hard to kill. And now this reasonably healthy Shield Immortal. Fort has gone down. And Bronze 6 pushing keep. They have about a 2-level lead. So it's going to be very, very difficult for Avalanche to stay in this game here. Dragon Fury steps up. Quans is low. As we see the Ignite from Kael'thas. Is going to have Living Bomb. There's a separation on Alec Man, but that's just where he wants them as the Mephisto root hits 3, and the Sonya Leap secures the kill onto Kael'thas. And now Rainer, in a world of hurt, Skeptic going for the finish onto Alun. Should be able to finish. No, Alun somehow still alive, and they have to break off this chase because of the Immortal on their core. Keep has gone down, so despite the 2 deaths, Bronze 6 is still with a big lead here. Bronze 6 needs to do what they didn't do in Game 1, which is they need to not have any staggered deaths here. They need to play this safe. They need to, if they see any blue near them, they need to just fuck off back to their core and just wait for Kael'thas and Garrosh. Kael'thas and Garrosh now coming back up. They need to let them get some travel time. They are starting to rotate top, but they should absolutely not take a fight without the rest of their team available. D-Champ gonna get picked up by Avalanche. Still very much alive in this. I love what Yrel's doing. Pushing down bot. Yrel can actually do this. Yrel has Ardent Defender available, has really good mobility, can always just get out of the fight if needed. Bruiser Camp gonna get grabbed here by Bronze 6. Not really sure what else to do on the map. Need to regroup now. Not gonna have level 20 before the next objective, barring something incredibly unforeseen happening. So both teams just really playing safe right now, not wanting to be the first to make a mistake. Now keep in mind, this bottom fort wall is down, and we are going to be approaching likely a 17 or 18 minute Immortal. Actually, probably 18 or 19 minute Immortal for the next phase. So it can just blow through that fort like nobody's business. So Avalanche still very much in this game. But that said, needs to not make any mistakes here. They absolutely cannot afford to die on their side of the map. I mean, Peepinder, am I wrong? In Game 1, they did not fuck off back to their core, and they ended up losing Game 1 because of death staggers, so, you know, it would have been better if they just fucked off back to their core. Ooh, there's the engage, on to Raynor, Raynor so low, Light Bomb, hands off keyboard, but there's the Aegis from the White Mane, it's gonna keep Raynor alive, and now, this is an opportunity, as the health bars are dropping, Sonya gonna go down to the Pyroblast, and there goes Mephisto, who didn't have the chance to blink back. Now Joanna just trying to buy time. Skeptic, though, getting chased down by the Raynor. The Vala is going to drop, and Faquans has nowhere to go. Doesn't even have the Iron Skin anymore. Down they go, and that is 4 kills. And Alun just kept Bronze 6, not only in this game, but actually may have just won the game. Great throw from the Kira to save, CRT. White Mane with just exceptional healing. Like I always said, I've always loved White Mane as a healer. Nobody go back and look at this replay. Really good job there by Bronze 6. They are going to win this series. Would like to just see them burn core though, as actually now there's the Light Bomb Bless Shield combo. Root hitting several. Sonya is just being an annoyance. The core has no shield. The core started gaining shields again. Like, stay on mission, finish the task, get the kills. Now you've just bought time for the enemy team to counter-engage this. That said, 25, 15, Mephisto has gone down. Down goes the core. Bronze 6 is going to win the series. Alright. Bronze 6 completes the reverse sweep. And I will say that Bronze 6 played better really the entire night, except the end of Game 1. And they couldn't stop their stagger, and I'm not sure why they kept taking fights like they did. They had such a lead on the map, they had 6 structures standing, they had taken down a keep, and instead, because of the stagger, the game got away from them. That said, here they had the answers to some really good I mean, we saw really good engages from Avalanche. Really good CC comboing, but they just had the answers. The Aegis from White Mane making a huge difference. So with that, we're going to end the series. Sorry, it's 1 a.m. on the East Coast, so no post-game interview. But thank you all for watching. Thank you to both teams.